And it is exciting because he's here right now. Our next guest has been making headlines as long as the celebrities he writes about. He's built one of the biggest names in entertainment news. He's never afraid to share an opinion. And if you've ever found yourself deep in a celebrity rabbit hole, chances are he's had something to do with it. Please welcome pop culture commentator, author, and founder of PerezHilton.com, Perez himself. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And welcome to Miami. We're very glad you chose home to come back to.
I know, it's been 30 years and it's really wonderful to be home.
Yeah, because you grew up here actually.
Yes, I was born and raised in Miami. Went to Belen Jesuit.
Wow.
And life took me all over from New York to Los Angeles and Las Vegas. And I'm so happy to be back where it all started.
And only here for a few weeks now. What is it like being back home? Miami has changed so much since you lived here.
Well, I'm overwhelmed with boxes still because we moved cross country from Vegas, but we've hit up some of the spots that I loved going to when I was young, like Versalles and El Palacio de los Jugos. And I did go to a new restaurant in Brickell, and that area is so different from what I remember, Yamashiro. And I'm just so excited to get to discover the Miami of 2026.
Well, listen, there is a reason why everyone from the West Coast, East Coast has really started to call Miami home. And I read online, God told you to make Miami home. Why is that?
Well, I nearly died this year twice. I had severe sepsis and landed in the hospital for 21 days. And then I was back in the hospital a few weeks after that with a massive deep vein thrombosis. And in Vegas, I loved it there, but my mom, who lives with me and my children, and we don't have any family there. And I think that huge health scare where it really felt like I was gonna die, I woke from that experience with such clarity, and it said, you need to be where you have support.
Yeah. And it's such a healthy lifestyle here. We're outdoors, we're always doing something, and it doesn't always have to be crazy. We do have that healthy living here too.
I love that. I'm all about being healthier. I used to not be so healthy, and the last 15 years I've transformed my life, both physically and emotionally and spiritually.
And you look fantastic, and even the energy that you give off is very comfortable.
I got dad vibes.
Yeah, I guess that's what changed. You have kids and then everything changes.
I mean, I'm still fun, I think. I'm still sassy. But, life has its seasons, and I approach what I do now seriously as a journalist, but I'm very mindful of how I talk about things.
And I want to talk about that, how much you've evolved, and like every career does, is we went from blogger to now celebrity headlines, we're going to report the facts, journalist. When did that transition really happen, and what is it like to be in this place now compared to where you started?
I would say the transition started in 2010 when I became healthier. And there are some people who I don't even like to say the word out loud. There's some debate about whether we should use it or not. It's not a bad word, but I like to call it healthy or unhealthy. But back when I was FAT, I was probably really miserable in many ways. And once I started to find that connection to a healthier life, I became a happier person, and I even had different thoughts. And that's when I began to think about doing things differently. And then having children also, I was just very more aware of the consequences of my words.
What's it like having an opinion now? Because you still have an opinion,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
You say it differently.
I have a podcast as well, and I share my opinion twice a week. I understand that no matter what I say, I will upset some people, but
Fair.
The intention is never to be mean. Like, it's just to be playful and talk about the current events and talk about music and talk about what's trending in a way that's not cruel or nasty.
Well, I love this Perez Hilton.
Thank you.
Is nice. And by the way, we were supposed to do so much more because I could just talk to you for hours. We were supposed to cover some headlines, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande. I mean, there's
Did we run out of
many
time?
things. We ran out of time. I know, but can you come back?
I'll have to come back.
Okay, that's a promise to everybody watching right now. Please come back. You are welcome anytime. as long as my producer and executive producer approves that. Welcome to Miami.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here.